discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Fixed insurance is offered through various independent insurance companies. Cambridge does not offer tax or legal advice.
Welcome to the SA Update. I'm your host, Mike Schuster. Each episode, we dive into meaningful conversations and timely topics designed to empower our communities and clients. From financial insights to real-life confidence, we're here to help you stay informed, inspired, and ready for what's next. Welcome to the SA Update. Today, my guest is local owner of a travel agency, Dawn. She owns Sandy Point Travel, and we thought it's appropriate as we are closing in on the holidays to bring a travel agent on. So welcome, Dawn, to the podcast.
Thank you, Mike.
Well, Dawn, we've had some chaos, obviously, in the travel industry, and a lot of our customers and a lot of the people that watch our podcast travel. So talk about year-end travel tips, especially since we just reopened the government as of the date of this podcast, actually yesterday. So,
Yeah.
So talk about year-end travel tips with us.
So as a lot of people know, during Thanksgiving, it is probably the most traveled season of the year. Christmas comes, kids are out on, vacation, and the families want to do, trips to the Caribbean, maybe somewhere warm, maybe to visit family. And so I think the biggest tip is if you're going to be flying and heading to an airport, we know there's been some delays in flights, cancels because of the government shutdown. Hopefully by Thanksgiving, everything's back on track. But the biggest thing is just to arrive early. Even if you're going to a smaller regional airport or a bigger airport with international, is to make sure to give yourself enough time. If you do have an early morning flight, like 5 or 6, is always my recommendation when you're departing. You'll have more chance of being on time. And the other thing is, if you live kind of far from that airport, is stay the night before right near the airport so that you can make sure to be on time and get there. The other thing, obviously, Mike, is packing strategically. If you can take your luggage on the plane, that is the most efficient. I know some people have to check luggage. You've got liquids, things like that. One of the things I do is I put one of those Apple AirTags in my bag.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know the airlines have gotten much better about putting barcodes on suitcases and tracking that way. But I definitely put one of those in there, especially if people are traveling internationally. And then the other thing you can do is travel on less busy days. Friday, Saturday are always really busy travel days, but maybe try to travel on a Tuesday or Wednesday. You might have a little bit better luck than you will on the weekends, if it's at all possible. So,
yeah, and that's a great point, because I do a lot of business travel, trying to get, I do the same thing, try to get everything in the compartments with me so that I can get on, get off, and get to where I need to be. So that's a good point.
yeah.
One of the other questions we get a lot of times, and we're going to talk about this later on more in detail, is my clients will ask me sometimes, should they buy travel insurance? So talk about travel insurance.
So I will have to say, before I got in this industry, before I owned the agency, I personally never got travel insurance. And then COVID hit, the big C word. And I now have an annual policy for my family because we do travel more than twice a year. But if this is just a one-time trip, I can not recommend it enough. What people don't realize is if there is any delay in air because of weather, the airlines legally do not have to protect you or put you up in a hotel. They really don't have to take care of you at all. Now, sometimes they will, but not very often.
Mm-hmm.
If it's mechanical, yes, they will put you up in the hotel and give you some food vouchers. But again, they're going to give you $10 for a whole day of food per person. That's not a lot of money in today's standard. And they might not put you in the best hotels by the airport. So I've had people stranded 2 and 3 days, even in Miami, because of storms after a cruise. The other thing with travel insurance is covering you medically when you're out of the country.
Yes. Yep.
Medicare does not cover you when you're out of the country. And a lot of US insurance don't as well. They say they do, but it's very limited, and they've got so many requirements behind you. The insurance that my clients take, they give you 24/7 protection, so that if you slip and fall or anything fatal happens and you're out of the country, they're right there beside you to make sure you're getting back to the US and that you've got a good trip.
Yeah, that travel insurance, when it comes to the healthcare side of things, is so important because we work with a lot of people in retirement on distributions, and the healthcare side of that is really, really important from that. Okay, here's the thing that I really wanted to talk about today, and we're starting to see a lot of multi-generational family trips, and that's a trend in the industry from a standpoint of, clients are starting to think about, okay, what's their legacy, and people often remember moments more than gifts. So talk about multi-generational planning. I know you do a lot of that. You've done that for my family. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, and what you're seeing in that trend.
Yeah. So families are looking for more of an experience. Grandparents give gifts, and the teenagers can't even remember what was under the tree last month. They're thinking of different ways of spending money with their grandkids and their siblings, maybe, and their own kids. And so they're creating an experience by going on a trip. And I think one of the coolest things is those pictures, those memories, those experiences. And so I do a lot of multi-generational trips to Europe, to even the Caribbean, Alaska, where, the grandparents want to spend time with their grandkids, but maybe not giving gifts. They're using their money towards those vacation experiences.
Yeah, it's such a interesting trend that we're seeing, and it's such a behavioral thing. Before we wrap today, Don, do you have a favorite travel tip that you recommend to everybody?
Besides downloading the airline apps, that's a given.
Yeah.
I do love, it sounds silly, but packing cubes. I know when you're traveling and you want to put your dirty clothes in a different bag and then it compresses the clothes, I think it's just really valuable to maximize the space within a suitcase. Again, it sounds kind of corny, but it's probably one of my best tips. And then lastly, internationally, keep a copy of your passport somewhere else besides with your passport.
Okay.
I had a client leave her passport in the bin in London, and she landed in Dallas and had no passport.
Oh, wow.
But she had a copy of it, and they let her through. So
Wow.
again, you just never know what's going to happen on a vacation or a holiday. So that's probably a more practical tip, but the packing cubes is my favorite. So
Yeah, the packing cubes is something I want to get now too. So
yeah.
anyways, well, Don, thanks for being our guest today on the podcast. Appreciate all your great travel tips.
Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research, Inc., a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA SIPC. Fixed insurance is offered through various independent insurance companies. Cambridge does not offer tax or legal advice.